Their life on Mars? This question has fascinated scientists and dreamers alike for decades. The idea of life beyond Earth sparks our imagination and drives countless missions to the stars. Mars, our neighboring planet, has always been at the center of this cosmic mystery. In this video, we'll dive deep into the search for life on Mars, exploring what we know, what we hope to find, and the incredible efforts underway to uncover the truth. Let's begin our journey by understanding why Mars is such a compelling target in the search for extraterrestrial life. Mars is often called the red planet because of its distinct rusty color, which comes from iron oxide on its surface. When we look at Mars through telescopes or in photos from space missions, its reddish hue stands out against the blackness of space. But beyond its color, Mars is a world full of mysteries. Its surface is marked by giant volcanoes, deep canyons, and vast plains. For years, scientists have wondered if this cold, dry planet could have once supported life. Let's explore what makes Mars so unique and why it continues to capture our curiosity. Today, Mars appears to be a cold and lifeless desert. Its thin atmosphere offers little protection from the harsh radiation of space, and temperatures can drop far below freezing. The surface is dry with no visible rivers or lakes. Dust storms can sweep across the planet for weeks, covering everything in a fine red powder. Despite these harsh conditions, Mars remains a focus for scientists searching for signs of life. Why? Because its past may have been very different from what we see today. Scientists believe that billions of years ago, Mars was a much warmer and wetter place. Evidence from orbiters and rovers suggests that liquid water once flowed across its surface, carving out river valleys and filling ancient lakes. Some researchers even think that Mars may have had vast oceans. This ancient watery world would have been much more hospitable to life than the Mars we see today. Understanding Mars' past climate is key to figuring out whether life ever had a chance to begin there. Water is essential for life as we know it. On Earth, wherever we find liquid water, we also find life, from the deepest oceans to the driest deserts. That's why the discovery of ancient rivers, lakes, and possibly oceans on Mars is so exciting. If Mars once had stable bodies of water, it could have provided the right environment for life to develop, even if only in the form of tiny microorganisms. The search for water is at the heart of every mission to Mars. When scientists talk about the possibility of life on Mars, they're not imagining Martian cities or intelligent beings. Instead, they focus on the smallest forms of life, microorganisms. These tiny single-celled organisms can survive in extreme environments on Earth, from boiling hot springs to frozen tundras. If life ever existed on Mars, it was likely microscopic, living in the soil or beneath the surface, protected from harsh conditions. Microorganisms are life forms so small that you need a microscope to see them. On Earth, they include bacteria, archaea, and some types of algae. These tiny creatures are incredibly resilient, able to survive in places with little sunlight, extreme temperatures, or high radiation. If Mars ever hosted life, microorganisms would be the most likely candidates. Their ability to adapt makes them the focus of the search for life beyond Earth. Find out if Mars ever had life. Scientists have sent a series of robotic explorers to the planet. These missions are designed to study the surface, analyze rocks and soil, and look for signs of water or organic molecules. Each rover and lander is equipped with advanced tools and cameras, allowing researchers to explore Mars from millions of kilometers away. The search for life is a global effort, involving space agencies from around the world. One of the most important missions in the search for Martian life is NASA's Perseverance rover. Launched in 2020, Perseverance is packed with scientific instruments designed to study the planet's geology and search for signs of ancient life. It's the most advanced rover ever sent to Mars, capable of drilling into rocks, collecting samples, and even preparing them for a future return to Earth. Perseverance represents a major step forward in our quest to answer the question, is there life on Mars? February 2021, Perseverance touched down in Jezero Crater, a site chosen for its fascinating history. Billions of years ago, Jezero Crater was home to a large lake fed by ancient rivers. Scientists believe that if life ever existed on Mars, this would be one of the best places to find evidence. The crater's rocks and sediments could hold clues about the planet's watery past and any potential signs of ancient microorganisms. Perseverance's main goal is to search for signs of ancient microbial life. It does this by studying the rocks and soil in Jezero Crater, looking for patterns or chemicals that could only be produced by living things. The rover's instruments can detect tiny changes in the minerals that might indicate the presence of past life. Every sample collected brings us one step closer to understanding Mars' history. One of Perseverance's most exciting discoveries so far is the detection of organic molecules in Martian rocks. Organic molecules are the basic building blocks of life, made up of carbon and other elements. On Earth, these molecules are found in all living things. Finding them on Mars is a big step, but it doesn't mean we found life. Organic molecules can also form through non-living processes, so more evidence is needed. Organic molecules are compounds that contain carbon, often combined with hydrogen, oxygen, and other elements. They are essential for life as we know it, forming the basis of proteins, DNA, and cell structures. On Mars, finding organic molecules is exciting because it shows that the planet has some of the ingredients necessary for life. However, these molecules can also be created by chemical reactions that don't involve living things. It's important to remember that finding organic molecules on Mars does not mean we've found life. These molecules can form in many ways, including through volcanic activity or reactions with sunlight. Scientists are careful not to jump to conclusions. They need more evidence, such as patterns or structures that only living things can create, before they can say for sure that life once existed on Mars. Another intriguing discovery is the detection of methane gas in the Martian atmosphere. On Earth, methane is often produced by living organisms, such as bacteria in wetlands or cows. The presence of methane on Mars raises the possibility that something similar could be happening there. However, methane can also be created by non-living processes, such as chemical reactions in rocks. Source of Mars, methane remains a mystery. Scientists are working hard to figure out whether it comes from living organisms beneath the surface or from chemical reactions in the rocks. The amount of methane in the atmosphere changes with the seasons, which adds another layer of complexity. Solving the mystery of Martian methane could be a major breakthrough in the search for life. Despite all these exciting discoveries, there is still no confirmed evidence of life on Mars. Scientists have not found any living organisms, fossils, or unmistakable signs of biology. The search continues, but for now, Mars remains a world of possibilities rather than proof. Every new mission brings us closer to an answer, but the mystery remains unsolved. Let's be clear, there are no aliens, no bacteria, and no proof of life on Mars, at least not yet. The evidence we have so far is intriguing, but it falls short of confirming that life ever existed there. Scientists are careful to avoid making bold claims without solid proof. The search for life is a slow and careful process built on evidence and patience. Even though we haven't found proof of life, the possibility still exists. Mars has many places that could have once supported life, and there may be evidence hidden beneath the surface or locked in ancient rocks. The search is far from over. Scientists remain hopeful that future missions will uncover new clues and help us answer this age-old question. Solve the mystery of life on Mars. Space agencies are planning even more ambitious missions. These missions will use advanced technology to explore deeper below the surface, analyze rocks in greater detail, and even bring samples back to Earth. By studying Martian soil and rocks in our own laboratories, scientists hope to find the evidence they need to answer the question once and for all. One of the most exciting plans for the future is to bring samples of Martian soil and rock back to Earth. These sample return missions will allow scientists to use powerful laboratory equipment to search for tiny traces of life or ancient biological activity. It's a challenging task, but the rewards could be enormous. A single sample could hold the key to understanding Mars' history and its potential for life. Search for life on Mars is a global effort. Agencies like NASA in the United States and ISRO in India are working together, sharing data and expertise. International collaboration speeds up discoveries and allows for more ambitious missions. By combining resources and knowledge, scientists from around the world are united in their quest to answer one of humanity's greatest questions. Why do we care so much about finding life on Mars? Discovering even the simplest life forms on another planet would change our understanding of biology, evolution, and our place in the universe. It would show that life is not unique to Earth and could exist elsewhere in the cosmos. The search for life on Mars is about more than just science. It's about exploring the unknown and expanding our horizon. Advanced technology is at the heart of every Mars mission. From powerful cameras and spectrometers to robotic arms and drills, these tools allow scientists to study Mars in incredible detail. Technology also enables communication between Mars and Earth, sending back data and images that fuel new discoveries. As technology improves, our ability to search for life becomes even greater. Exploring Mars is not easy. The planet is millions of kilometers away, and every mission faces huge challenges. Harsh weather, extreme temperatures, and difficult terrain make landing and operating robots a tough job. Communication delays mean that rovers must be able to work on their own, making decisions without waiting for instructions from Earth. Despite these obstacles, scientists continue to push the boundaries of what's possible. Understand what life on Mars might look like. Scientists study some of the most extreme environments on Earth. From Antarctica's frozen deserts to the boiling hot springs of Yellowstone, life finds a way to survive in places that seem impossible. These studies help researchers know what to look for on Mars and how to recognize signs of life in harsh conditions. On Earth, some microorganisms called extremophiles can survive in boiling acid, deep ocean vents, or frozen tundras. These remarkable life forms show that life can exist in places we once thought impossible. If Mars ever had life, it might have been similar to these tough, adaptable organisms. Studying extremophiles gives scientists clues about what to search for on Mars. What would count as evidence of life on Mars? Scientists look for certain patterns, such as specific shapes in rocks, chemical signatures, or the presence of certain minerals. On Earth, these signs are often linked to biological activity. Finding similar patterns on Mars would be a major breakthrough, but scientists must be careful to rule out non-living processes that could create the same results. Search for life on Mars is a slow process. Each mission builds on the discoveries of the last, adding new pieces to the puzzle. Scientists must be patient, carefully analyzing every sample and result. Rushing to conclusions could lead to mistakes, so the scientific community takes its time, making sure that any claim of life is backed by solid evidence. When Mars samples finally arrive on Earth, they will be studied in some of the world's most advanced laboratories. Scientists will use powerful microscopes, chemical tests, and other tools to search for tiny fossils, organic molecules, or other signs of life. This detailed analysis could provide the evidence needed to answer the question of life on Mars once and for all. If scientists ever find proof of life on Mars, it would be one of the greatest discoveries in human history. It would show that life is not unique to Earth and could exist elsewhere in the universe. Such a discovery would raise new questions about how life begins, how it survives, and what other worlds might be home to living things. The impact would be felt in science, philosophy, and even our daily lives. But what if we never find life on Mars? Even then, the search is valuable. Learning that Mars is lifeless would teach us about the limits of biology and the special conditions needed for life to begin. It would help us understand our own planet better and guide future searches for life elsewhere in the solar system and beyond. Search for life on Mars is about more than just science. It's about curiosity, exploration, and the human spirit. Every mission to Mars pushes the boundaries of what we can achieve, inspiring new generations to dream big and reach for the stars. Whether we find life or not, the journey itself is a testament to our desire to understand the universe. With every mission, we learn more about Mars and its potential for life. Future plans include sending more advanced rovers, drilling deeper into the surface, and even preparing for human exploration. Each new discovery brings us closer to answering the question that has fascinated us for so long: is there life on Mars? In the coming decades, humans may set foot on Mars for the first time. These missions will allow for even more detailed exploration, as astronauts can conduct experiments and search for life in ways robots cannot. Human presence on Mars will mark a new era in space exploration and could finally provide the answers we seek. India's Space Agency, ISRO, is playing an important role in Mars exploration. Its Mars Orbiter mission, also known as Mangalyaan, has provided valuable data about the planet's atmosphere and surface. By working together with other agencies, ISRO is helping to advance our understanding of Mars and its potential for life. NASA continues to lead the way in Mars exploration with multiple missions planned for the future. These include new rovers, orbiters, and sample return missions. Each mission builds on the discoveries of the last, bringing us closer to understanding Mars' history and its potential for life. Mars exploration is a global effort, with countries around the world contributing technology, expertise, and funding. International partnerships make missions more successful and allow for greater scientific discoveries. By working together, humanity increases its chances of finding the answers we seek. The search for life on Mars is driven by the spirit of discovery. Every mission, every experiment, and every new piece of data brings us closer to understanding our place in the universe. This journey is about more than just Mars, it's about the human desire to explore, learn, and grow. Mars has captured the imagination of writers, filmmakers, and artists for generations. From science fiction novels to blockbuster movies, the Red Planet is a symbol of adventure and the unknown. These stories inspire real-life scientists and explorers to keep searching for answers. Despite decades of exploration, Mars remains a planet of mysteries. Each new discovery raises new questions and the search for life continues. Scientists remain dedicated to finding the truth no matter how long it takes. The mystery of Mars is far from solved. With every mission, we get a little closer to answering the question: is there life on Mars? New technology, international cooperation, and the dedication of scientists around the world are bringing us closer to the truth. The journey is long, but the progress is real. The search for life on Mars is one of humanity's biggest questions. It challenges us to look beyond our own world and consider the possibilities that exist in the universe. Whether or not we find life, the search itself is a powerful reminder of our curiosity and our drive to explore. Mars represents the next frontier in our exploration of the solar system. The search for life is just one part of a larger journey to understand our place in the cosmos. As we continue to explore, we push the boundaries of what's possible and inspire future generations to reach for the stars. So is there life on Mars? Right now we don't know, but with every mission, every discovery, and every new question, we're getting closer to the answer. The journey to find life on Mars is far from over, and the next chapter is just beginning. Stay curious and keep exploring, because one day we may finally solve one of humanity's greatest mysteries.